Hey everybody, welcome to Back to Basics Baseball here on our channel where we talk about the fundamentals and where we focus on player development, where it's not about winning, it's just about getting better. Today I've got a series of PVC progression drills that I use with my team that I've put together from various resources that I've found, and so this is the progression that I like and that works for me. Here I'm just doing a few warm-up exercises, so I just want to stress how important it is to have your players do some sort of dynamic warm-up before they start. Our first drill here is what's known as the walk-away drill. So you walk away from your pipe and then just sort of stretch that pipe, flex that pipe, as you can see me doing here. So we're just working on getting our hips in and getting our step to the pitcher. I can probably do a little bit better job here of keeping my hands back, but I want this pipe to remain upright while I'm doing this drill. Now here we're resetting and getting ready for our next drill. This is the load and step drill. So here I'm just working on a load and then a step and just starting to turn the pipe. And what's important here is we're sequencing our swing. We're starting from the ground up, starting with our legs and then activating our lower half, and then we activate our core. Drill 3, again, it's sort of a version of the load and step. Here I'm just trying to keep my pipe pointed at the pitcher, keeping it level. So just for those players that might drop their back shoulder or lean into it, you can correct that with this drill. Alright, and then after that I usually go back and have the players do a couple more of these load and step drills, because we're now going to move on to the next step of our sequence. So I really want them to feel that. Now we switched out to a shorter PVC pipe because I'm not going to anchor the PVC pipe to the ground. Instead, I want a short piece where I can have it pointed at the catcher's head. And now I load and I just activate the hip there, step and activate the hips. So I'm going to load, step, and just start to turn. And the important thing here is I'm trying to keep my hands back and my upper half still while I do that. So the lower half works first and then the upper half is going to work. So keeping my hands back, really trying to stretch it out there and push myself to keep that lower half back. Now here you can see doing the same thing but watching the screen here. This is really important. I encourage my players to look at a mirror or a screen so they can see themselves. Oftentimes they'll find that very helpful. Our fifth drill is with the PVC connection tool. I did not invent this. You can find this online, people using this, but you basically set up this tool with PVC pipe, and you want the pipe aligning to your forearms. And I don't glue mine, so I can switch back and forth between right-handed and left-handed batters. So you see how the short ends of the pipe are against my forearm here. This is where I want it to be. And as I go into my swing and start my turn, I stay connected. I want that pipe to stay connected to my forearm. So if your hands tend to drift forward or they tend to drop your hands, you'll lose that connection with the pipe and the forearms. And that's all this drill is. You only have to turn a little bit there. One more slow turn there, watching yourself in the mirror. So that's the PVC connection drill. Going back to the pipe, now I'm going to really focus on getting my hips rotated. So I cross my arms over the pipe here and I'm sequencing load, step, hips, and then turn the core. Get the upper half going. Load, step, hips, and turn. And now you can see I'm pushing it more. I'm trying to really get some turn going. Trying to work underneath a little bit, underneath my back shoulder. I'm really turning and exaggerating that hip turn. Oftentimes you'll see players, they won't get all the way turned, and that back knee won't get underneath their body. Alright, and then this is just another variation of it here. You can hold the pipe here and then here. I'm really trying to work on going under my back shoulder here, really trying to turn in almost a different plane here. Just really going down and then turning up under that pipe. And now setting up for the next drill, we've worked on sort of our turn now. So now we're going to keep that turn with the pipe, and we're going to get our pipe pointed at the pitcher. So we load and step and work our back hip, and now we turn and point to the pitcher. Very, very important that we want that back hip working, and we want that front arm to sort of keep that 90-degree angle as we turn here. A lot of times you'll see players bar their front arm. They'll start to straighten out that front arm, which causes the bat to really lag and drag way behind the zone, and they'll have difficulties catching up with fast pitchers, and you'll just see a lot of strikeouts as a result. So it's a lot slower swing. So just getting that pipe pointed to the pitcher. Notice we're not using our arms yet. Our arms aren't extending. We're keeping our arms in the position that we started. So we're keeping them in this position here. Now from that, we're going to point, and we're going to get to what's called a power position. So I'm just trying to get to my point of contact, and I'm trying to keep my back arm sort of leveraged, ready to extend through the ball. Now those first 2 reps, my arms were kind of extended, and you got to be careful, as I showed you there, kind of your head coming out, your shoulder coming out, so staying on the ball. All right, and in the next couple, you'll see I'm going to try to get in more of a powerful position, keeping those arms sort of in connection, and there's a really powerful position. So that looks really good there. Not all the reps are perfect. My hands are drifting maybe a little bit, but nobody's perfect. Here I'm working on just an inside pitch, pretending the pitch is inside. Now I'm pointing out there, so I'm going to work on a pitch that's maybe on the outer part, and this is important. Get your players to work on all different pitches. Here we're going to work on sort of another low pitch, and work on pitches on different levels as well. So here, just a pitch that's up in the zone, working on something that's belly button high. So work on all the different types of pitches you see, because they're not always going to be right down the middle. Okay, and there I'm just checking my form. This is a pretty good workout. If you've ever tried it, you're going to feel it in your legs and in your core for sure, and it will get a sweat going. Alright, now we're going to take it one step further. We get the hips going, and we point, we get the power, and now we just work on extending out and through the ball. When you do this, the end of the pipe should come up against your forearm there, on the side of your front hand, front arm, when you extend. And so we're just trying to work on getting that extension through the ball here. We're going to do one more sequencing hip, and we go to point into power and extend. So just working on the parts of the swing. Now, sometimes players will roll over the ball, right? And so they'll lose that palm up, palm down position on extension. And when they do that with this drill, that pipe will actually hit the player in the side pretty hard. And they'll say, "Coach, this hurts." And you just tell them, well, that's because you did it wrong. You rolled over. So instant feedback to the player that they made a mistake on extension. Extension is something that I see pretty common, extension problems. Now we're just kind of cutting out some parts of the drill. We're going from pointing at the pitcher straight to extension. And oftentimes I'll ask my players to sort of repeat that motion a couple times like I'm doing there, just because these PVC pipe drills, they're really about feel. You're just trying to get the feel of your swing. So now we're just kind of chaining together the different parts of the swing, trying to develop a smoother swing as we go. So we cut out that power position, and we now sort of have the last half of the swing. The next drill I like to do is just bring in the bat to get rid of the PVC temporarily, because hitters, they like to use the bat. They think if the bat's not in their hand, then they're not really working on anything. And so players always are saying, "Coach, let me get that bat in your hand." So give them a chance. And just work them through the sequence, and this time with the bat. And so again, having them go slow, working on that technique. And here we're doing all the sequences together. So one more, we load, step, and hip, and then we start to rotate, and we go a little bit quicker. So they can go quicker and quicker and quicker, and then they can work on their finish as well. And, I've got a couple of drills that work on sort of finishing the swing. We'll post those sometime later. So some good swings here with the bat. Do it in front of a mirror. You don't even have to hold anything. You can just kind of check it out. Here I'm really starting to try to feel that stretch on my front side, really focusing on getting my hips going first. Now we've got the pipe back in, and we're going to work with the tee here. So again, just working towards the tee, setting it up in a nice position, straight over the plate, and working the sequence again to power. You can have your players go ahead and hit that ball off the tee if you want. Here I'm just moving the tee to different locations, so a pitch that's a little bit more out in front. You can work on pitches that are to the inside. And here we're going to start moving the tee back, and we'll work on some other pitches. Again, the point being, if you're doing tee work with players, move the tee around, because when do you get that perfect pitch right down the middle? Not often. Now I'm putting the tee way back so I can work on a pitch that I'm laid on. So it's important to work on these pitches that you're laid on, because maybe you can hit that pitch and drive it to the opposite field, but maybe you just foul it off, and every foul ball earns you another chance to get another pitch, and maybe that pitch is going to be the one that your timing is good on and that you can drive somewhere. And then here lastly, we're working on just a 2T drill that's working on our swing plane. So getting on plane early so we can work with an outside pitch or a late pitch, and then extending through. So this really helps with extension because you get on plane early. You have to maintain that power position as you go through the ball. So we get the power here, and then we have to maintain that as we go to the next ball and then extend through it. Now if you want, you can have your players try to take a swing and hit both balls at the same time. I recommend that you always start slow and just hit the first one and then extend through the next one. And that's our PVC progression drill. So I hope you guys can use this for your own players. I found it to be very helpful for my players, and it sets a good foundation to the swing. Great warm-up for players before they go into the cage. And that's our video today. So thanks for tuning in, guys, to Back to Basics, and click that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll post more videos and content for you.